Hi developers, welcome back. All right, so next we're going to look at several HTML elements. For example, we have the span type, right? We have the span element. The span element is used for customizing some sections of your HTML page. So for example, we can actually use it this way. It's a container, or I call it a wrapper. Basically, it works like the div. The difference here is your grouping is basically more minimalist in terms of the way you apply it, right? So for example, a div basically is a block level element, which means it is definitely going to put items in in a container while moving it to its own block, right? But a span can basically be inline, right? Okay, so we can basically style this form, right? Text. We can also add several other customization options to span, right? That would then affect the item form without affecting registration. So you see, this will not be moved specifically to a new line except the customization speaks to that. But yeah, you can basically customize this text right within, the H2 element. We also have the header, right? The header element is like the heading of a page or section. It often contains information like the title of the website, right? So you can have the header right here, just right under the body element. And you can basically use this section for creating like the header of your document, right, which is the first thing people would see, especially on the hero page before scrolling down to other sections. Okay, so you can have your carousels, you can have your navigation and a bunch of other things right within the header tag. All right, next is the nav. Basically, this is like the navigation menu in a book. It's a place where you put links to help people move around your website. This is ideally found right inside the header section. So we can have the menu items. Of course, when styled with CSS, you get something way better. For now, we're just going to include some values just like this. Next, we have the main tag. I'm going to add the other components right under the main tag. Let's format this properly. Okay, so basically the main tag is like the main part of your web page. It holds the most important content. We also have the article tag. So it's like a story or a blog post. Okay, so it's a container for a piece of content that could stand on its own. Okay, so if you have some sort of articles or blog posts, yes, we can use the article tag for that. All right. Next, we have the section tag. So basically, section tag is like a big chapter in a book. Okay, so it basically helps us group related contents together, just like div. Okay, but in this case, we're just trying to follow, we're just trying to use this for creating multiple sections. Okay, on your website you might have like the header, you might have like the about section on the same page. You can also have the organization principle. You can basically group the content of your book or your website, right? I'm using a book as an example here, but of course we're referring to websites. You can basically group the sections on your website into different areas, based on the way you think the website should be structured. Now remember that the div can be used to group items that are related, or also we can look at it from the angle of separating, items into different blocks, right? The section is, used for that, logical grouping. So yes, the div can be used even within the section to group elements further. So yes, the section can be used for having a set of grouped, elements that have already been grouped by even divs. Okay, if that makes sense. So we can basically have a section this way. All right. So we have a bunch of other elements such as aside, footer, the break element, HRO element, which is for horizontal row, right? So just to show you, we can basically use the HRO element here for horizontal row. And if we save this, now we're going to bring in a preview of what we've done so far, just so you see, how this works actually. So let's review this in Finder right here. All right. So we are going to preview this right away. Great. There you go. See some of the things we've done. Horizontal row, some of the write-ups. Okay, we can actually append horizontal row again, just right above this section. Save that. Let's refresh. You see we have another horizontal row. All right. Now remember, you have the break tag, so you can basically use the break tag when you're trying to add some level of space, right? Just like this. Okay, let us use H3 for this. H3, refresh. Okay, all right. So basically, I mentioned footer tag earlier. The footer tag is like the end of the website where you find information about the author and maybe some information about, uh, the vital links you can actually use in navigating the website. Okay, some of the contact details or the contact links, the terms and condition, the privacy policy links, and a bunch of other vital links that you can basically share, on the website. Okay, so we usually have that at the footer. We usually have that at the bottom of the page, just right somewhere here. So let's put that right here. I'm simply going to say this is the bottom of the website with basic vital links as specified by the website author. Okay, let's save that. All right, of course, remember we have a strong tag. Of course, this is just going to make a particular section or a particular item that is wrapped around, or that is found within this element. It's going to make this sort of bold, right, and strong. So it's emphasizing that text to show that that word or text is actually important. Okay, we have the emphasis, which is EM, right? This is going to make the item bold, but as well make the item italicized. Okay, so it also has a touch of emphasis, right? Um, Although not like the strong option. So it's basically going to utilize this. Okay. You can simply visit the learning material. We've added a lot of elements, right? You find the code element, table element. You would find so many elements that can be used right under the table element, right? Including T body, T head, T header, which is th, right? Td, okay, which describes the data that you put into the rows, right? We have tr, which describes the rows of the table. All right, so those are some of the tags, right? You have a couple of other tags. You can visit the Mozilla Developers Network, W3 School, right? We already described the form tag in a more comprehensive video. You can watch that video on YouTube. All right, so we basically have the audio tag as well and the video tag. We'll be using them, you know, in some other videos, but let's just show you the audio tag just like this. We can have the audio with some controls. We have the source. All right, you can bring in the audio source right here. Let's set the type, audio/mp3. Okay, and yeah, I mean, if your browser doesn't support this, just tell us, you know, your browser doesn't support this. Okay, ideally most modern browsers, you know, support, you know, the audio type. So we don't have our source material or our source file or music file just yet. Or let's just say our mp3 file. This must not be a music, right? So let's go ahead and you know, bring in a sample music item. Okay, so just give me a minute. I'm going to fetch one. All right, so I just brought in an mp3 item. This is Beta Copper. Okay, I'm going to create a folder here. Let's call this let's put this folder right within the asset directory. We're going to call this mp3. Okay, all right, so we can simply move this in here, back to the index file. So now we can basically bring in assets, you know, mp3 and that specific file. Okay, so if you actually refresh the page, you're going to see that components, you know, somewhere right here. So you see we have that component, and of course you can click on play. Yeah, so I can actually play this. Okay, right? You can of course, you know, mute this or even download. I'm sure you can download, but you know, that option is not set here. So let's try the other tag, which is the video tag, right? You know, works as in a similar fashion. Basically it helps you, you know, play videos. Okay, so let's have the video tag. Let's have the width of the video tag. Let's just say we have 300 for the width, right? Let's have a height of maybe 200. Okay, let's also put in the controls for the tag. So the controls basically, you know, gives us the ability to play, pause, and do all that. That's the controls. Okay, yeah, so we can also include the source. Okay, src. We're going to bring in assets this time around video, right? So we're just going to bring in 1.mp4. So yeah, let's close this. Okay, remember to put in your type. So this is going to be video/mp4. Awesome. Okay, so now we have the video tag, and of course, if it doesn't support, if your browser doesn't support this, you can say your browser doesn't support this video tag. Ideally, modern browsers should support the video tag. Let's try bringing in a video, a sample video. So what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to bring in a video from my computer. Let's drop that here. Okay, so I'm simply going to call that 1.mp4. Remember, let's say 1. Okay, so I'm going to create a folder again within assets. Let's just move that into that folder, back to our code. So right here we have 1.mp4. Let's save this video. Okay, good. So let's refresh this page, and here you see you have that specific video, so we can play this video. Okay, So yes, we can also play that video, as you can see. Right. So basically that is the video tag or the video element. We also have an iframe, right? An iframe is basically used for bringing in external components, right? So you use it for embedding external components like maps, even other websites, right? Videos, especially maybe videos from YouTube and a bunch of other things. So basically we can actually use an iframe this way. I'm going to bring in an iframe right here. The source of let's bring in the source of HTTPS. I'm going to simply say google.com. Let's see if we can do that with google.com. Let's set a width of 500, right? And let's set a height of 300. Okay, we're going to add a title, Google websites. I think we can actually use Top Universe instead. .org. So let's say Top Universe website. Okay, yeah, so let's close this. Okay, let's close this, and let's save. Back to this website. Let's refresh. All right, so let's refresh to see what we have. So basically, this is the iframe right here. As you can see, it is loading that component, and yeah, it was able to load that website just like this, right? So you can scroll through. It basically loads up that component in here, right? So this is basically what you do with the iframe. We just embedded a different website, which is our Top Universe website, right inside our HTML file. So we're stopping here for now. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.